Hi. Okay. Now, you're confused. You don't understand. Mm. Elon Musk, this guy I talked about, yeah, his view was you drill down and find out what is what the basic common what's driving something. What's at the very base of the base kernel of your product idea. What's going to drive sales, for example? And he said, yeah, what you do is you you encapsulate that, and then the clearer you can get that, the more you can control things. And you get, but you actually have to drill down. He said, and sometimes it's going to be difficult. Um, and this is why I said, so what drives? You made it clear. I talk about sex. Every man wants to talk about sex, sex, sex. So I think, okay, you just cut sex out altogether, as I really know what you're complaining about. You know, and and it's good. I don't hear you complaining about. So you don't talk about sex, and I don't talk about it. So it's great. Conversation's gone. Perfect. But a lot of other stuff is what uh, it's basically. It sounds like Sue, probably Sue's mother and her mother and her mother before that. It's all sounding the same. Sorry, it's just it's, and I can understand why men end up talking about sex because the conversation, if it keeps going this way, it's just boring. Sorry, just going to be flat out and honest with you. It's boring conversation. Having a clean house, that's great. What you're after is that feeling of sit back afterwards and read a magazine, have a biscuit, whatever, and enjoy your clean house. Yeah, I know, it's all great. Um, I don't do it. Sorry. It's and it's of no interest to me on an internet relationship. It just you having a clean house or me having a clean house will not make one scrap of difference to our relationship on the net. So it probably in reality doesn't actually make any difference in a normal life either. It's probably just something that you believe that you've been sold to you, and you've bought it hook, line, and sinker, and it doesn't work. Never has worked, but everybody just thinks it does. Um, yeah, and being when it gets to opinions and advice, people in the West, you know what they're like now. This is why we don't talk to one another. We don't want to hear it anymore. We've heard so much. Uh, I've done this wrong. We're doing this wrong. You're doing that wrong. Doing something else wrong. It's like, see ya. I just, I don't even want to know, what I've done wrong. And as soon as somebody looks at me, I just go, bye. Just don't want to know. Don't hear their advice. And we say it outright to them. People will even go to the doctor and you start talking about being fat, and they'll say, "Try and talk about this." Change the subject. So no, we don't want opinions or advice of what's good for us, or we just had it up to there, more than you can poke a stick at, honestly. Um, yeah. So, and the funny thing is, like you would have looked at the web page, and if you were to look at the web page and go, "Oh, I don't like it as much as I like the other one," but this is where, and you're saying, "But it's not the quality's not nearly as good here." But what you're not seeing is how it looks on the phone. Now, you won't be able to see this because uh, it's too glary. Phones don't show up well on this at all. Hang on, where are we? Let's see if we can find it here. Oh, shit, I haven't got it. Yep, no, it's fuck. I'll get it again sometime. But what happens is you get the picture, and then you get a big white space, and then a bit of text, and then there's other sort of stuff and it's just like, what the fuck is this all about? And really, what it should be is just a picture, bit of text, powerful, compelling text, and then call to action. Donate now or leave a tip. Really, they're on the phone, and see. I was even thinking up until today even. Oh, they'd have to be on the PC, wouldn't they? But no, with the phones and things, they've got a Bluetooth through to a printer, so they might actually see this on a tablet. And they go, oh, I like that. Or on a phone. Oh, yeah, I'll just print it. I'll print off the dash. Do it all on the phone. So yeah, it has to look good on a phone. So you're quite right. Look a certain way on a PC, and your evaluation of quality might be might be good for there. This idea of quality, and it's got to be as good. Women, what would you say? Women want it to be as perfect. Um, yeah, it looks perfect on a PC and looks shit on a phone. Which one do you want? I don't know. I don't know. And then how's it going to look? Because I then want to put the tips in. To put the tips in, I have to go onto Facebook. To go onto Facebook, I have to set up a product, discuss the product, put in a web page, so people on Facebook can go straight to it too. So I'm forced to actually make it a standalone web page as well. Thank God it's simple, but so it's changed just by changing one thing, it's changed many other things. So you looking at it thinking, oh, that looks good, it's actually useless because it may look good on a PC, but look shit on a phone. And you and I can have an argument about, oh, it looks terrible. And then as soon as you see it on the phone, you go, oh, okay, I see what you mean. So you're so convinced that you really want to offer your opinion, to advise, to help. You really want to help, like a doctor wants to help. Everyone wants to help. Yeah, everybody does it, even me talking to Raf. And this is where this has all come from, because I'm telling Raf how to live a life, basically. And I know how she'll react, and I know what she'll think. And I'm probably thinking, she's right, because we can't stand it anymore. And so she'll say something, she'll come when she reads it, eventually she'll like, fuck off, will you? Okay. It's you've got no idea how bad it is, and it's gotten to the point, where women have complained so much about men. We're now at a point like version 20, where you don't like us anymore. You want us back to version 1, or here in the West, we just want a rough animal prick, it's fucked up. Now, what in doing this, in thinking all this, this is the basic us trying to convince one another. So I've gone down, and you deny it, and I look at it and think, well, no, the truth is, I put my hand up. I say, yeah, I even did it with Raf. I'm trying to do something. But see, whereas you'll deny it, I'll actually admit it, and that's where you and I will differ, because I'll then understand something from that and move on, whereas you will be kept in the past. Unfortunately, that's what's happening, and it's just men going further and further this way, and you're back there, saying, come back and play with us. We've changed. You're actually forcing us to change, and we're changing. We're rapidly evolving now, and you're not, and it's just not going to work. But this may help or may not. In this Elon Musk, so it's not my idea, it's his. And this is important, because a lot of what I talk about, it's not my idea, it's somebody else's idea. I'm just using it. It's like somebody tells you how to make a cake, so you get the ingredients, you put them all together and you make it, and gee, that turned out well. Good instructions, everything else, it's satisfying. It's not my idea, I didn't want to make the cake. In fact, I tried to make a pie once for a competition, Didn't like the experience at all. It's quite horrible. I'd much rather somebody tell me what to do, and I'd just do it properly, and that's satisfying enough for me. But anyway, I thought I was just making a cup of coffee, and I thought, okay, so what am I doing? What am I showing Boomba with all these pics and movies and all that sort of thing? And apart from you, because you wanted to see what the town looked like, I'm forgetting that. But what I was showing you was problems that I was solving. You think about it. I wanted to cut down my expenditure with vegetables, because I perceived it was a lot cheaper at the food bank. I wasn't spending as much, so I wanted to cut that expenditure down. So I put in a garden and started. I thought the idea, but it was to save money. But I showed you. I showed you the garden, talked about the garden, that sort of thing. Stumpy, Stumpy's, I need a bit of company. Someone to look forward to, to play with and that sort of thing, and just say good day to. And we do, we say hi, and, I let him out in the morning, and he comes home in the evening, and I feed him, and it's a bit of flat, mate. It's sort of like a pet. So he solves the problem that way. And what else? Well, the coffee machine. It's a problem, actually. I've got to pay for bloody quite a bit of money to get a new coffee machine. That's what I was looking at. Oh, fuck. I don't know how much that. couple hundred, 200 or 300, maybe more. I don't know. I thought, it lasts. Yeah, okay, it's probably still cheaper per mug of coffee, but oh boy. And that's why I went looking for a solution to that problem. And I was thinking this morning, um, that seems to be what I'm using YouTube for and the internet for, is to solve problems. And in doing so, it's actually interesting. And I'm coming up, and I'm telling you what I'm doing and how I'm solving the problems. And so this, can you see, this is the basic, this is the thing that's driving my communication to you. Now, when you think about it, what problems do you have? Or nothing. I've got no idea what your problems are. I mean, apart from the fact that you have no freedom and no money and that sort of thing. Yeah, well, I'm in that situation too, I suppose, but I'm not talking about it over and over. No money. I'm here in a caravan park. It's I'm actually doing things to try and solve the problems, and I'm explaining what I'm doing to solve. Yeah. So you're at the level of I have no money, and as soon as I get this thing, everything, all those problems, they're all going to go away. And look, they could. Um, but yeah, that's the difference. You know, and look, and you can write me a letter and say, look, I'm living happily ever after. Oh, pretty good on you, Paul. Um, that seems to be what you're doing, like in a fairy tale. You're trying to get out of that and living. And yeah, but the difference is I'm saying, I don't have any money, so this is what I'm doing to overcome that problem. Yeah, I wouldn't mind a pet. I used to have a dog, so yeah, I've got a bird now. It's not quite the same, but it's solving that problem of man's best friend is bird. Tiny little bird, even smaller than Coco. Yeah, and there are other problems as well. But it's not. But you're not telling, like, I don't know. I'm not suggesting you do, but that's actually what's driving my communication with you. Yeah, and it's not just showing where I've been or where I live or anything else. No, it's actually I've gone way past that. Yeah, I'm saying, look, I got it off and it's entertaining. It's actually entertaining how you solve your problems. But that it's only coming from me. It's not coming from others, and that's where I think the difference is. That's what I'm saying now. As far as so, that's telling me that perhaps that should be the approach to paper trail, for example, for you. Because I'm looking at that's again all the discussions I have with it, the problems I'm perceiving with it. Yeah, what if they don't even want to pay 50 cents? What if 25 cents was money? Yeah, it's tips. I wonder if it is free. Gee, that'd be good. Or if it's just a couple of percent or something like that. Yeah, then 25 cents, whatever, which is where I'd like to get to. So if I just want to pay 25 cents, I can do that. Because if I can get 50 paying 25 cents, that'd be excellent. That's more money than you can poke a stick at. Yeah, rather than, one paying $1.50. 50 times, what's that? $12 for $1? Yeah, right. Bring it on. Yeah, so, but they're the problem. So if I'm looking at, not, and if, so this is another area, the word problems is like, Sue had a problem with it too. Yeah, like you got a problem. That sounds negative. It's narcissism. That's what it's coming. It sounds bad, so I don't want to discuss it. It's like manipulation. Sounds bad, so no, I don't want to know about that. I'm not a bad person. I don't want to be seen to be a manipulative person, so we won't discuss it. And see how it stays hidden? Yeah, it's hidden. It's like you've got this horrible little thing and you're hiding it. Rather than say, oh, fuck it, yeah, I try and sway you, try and move you. I want you to clean the house, same as I do. Yeah, I've been suckered. I want you to be suckered to. Just be honest. And then that's the difference between honesty and hiding stuff. It's just no. Yeah. So when you say problem, oh, I don't want to know about that. It sounds awful. Well, yuck. And I just say, no, I don't have any money. There's a problem. So how do I solve the problem? Well, maybe grow your own vegetables. And the whole thing looks like it's a waste of fucking time to me. But and plus I've got to water a lot. But it's like you're just seeing the outcome. I mean, who cares? But they are my problems. Money usually, or how do I promote this bloody trackball? And then how do I promote and how do I do? I've got a problem after problem, more problems to solve there than you can poke a stick at. But I guarantee you, you'll see if I say problems, you'll see that as negative. And yep, you won't want to know about it because no, that's because you're listening to the word and you're thinking, oh, problems typically means a person has a personality problem, or they've got problems because the common usage of the word means. But words have different meanings, and one of them is you have a problem, to solve. How do I cut my costs? How do I increase my revenue? That's a businessman's problems, and there's always, So if I put it on it looks great on the PC. Yep, I've got a problem on this thing. It doesn't look right. So I've got to get it to balance. Both have got to look okay. In which case, maybe one doesn't look as good otherwise, but it's still okay, and could end up being better because I've solved the problem for the phone. Like you and I both think that web page is all right, but it's probably a waste of time, really. I noticed when I made a mistake, and I put I ended up with how the pic took up the whole page, and I put the buttons in the middle of it. Yeah, well, I clicked something by mistake, and it came out real skinny at the top, and the whole web page was on one screen, all the call to action, everything. I thought, oh, that reminded me of London Londoner, and he said, no, just get it all. If I don't have to scroll, it's better. If it's all there, you know what I mean? Because you can go down and down and down with a web page, but most people don't scroll. It's just bang. Some will scroll down. But if you look at a heat map, a lot won't. So if it's all on one page, all on just the top of and that's what they say, get it up the top. Yeah, so in going to the phone, I might solve a problem on the PC. You're looking at looks. Others will look at it and think, yeah, fuck that. No, get all the important information above the fold, they say. The fold is the bottom of the screen. So get it up above the fold. It's all of your really, any other shit, just put it down there because they may or may not scroll down to it. But get it as much as you can above the fold. Yeah. So it's, if you understood the problem that I have to face, is that people don't scroll. Not all people scroll, and they don't. You might, but a lot of people don't. So I'm cutting a lot of people if I put my call to action down below the fold. Okay, but if you understood the problem, you'd probably look at it differently. But that's a problem. It's not a psychological problem or a relationship problem or any other that sort of problem. That's a different type of problem. This is a problem with selling on the internet. How do you solve them? So that could be a more interesting way to go than the way we're trying to go at the moment, which is old-fashioned and just really I'm over it. Everybody else is too. And just actually accept some of these negative-sounding words like problems and take them literally. Yeah, I don't have any money. Like you don't have any money. How do you solve that problem? But you're thinking, oh no, this animation is going to do everything. Well, if I was thinking like that, I wouldn't be growing vegetables. I wouldn't be looking for ways to cut down my costs in different areas. Buying tiny little potatoes. Oh, no, it's okay. Everything will be fine once this happens. But it may not be. I don't know. But why does it have to? Just you're putting everything on. It's going to be right. It's going to be right. It's fear. I think. Um, but I'm hearing nothing of if you've got no money and no space or anything. I'm not hearing you how you're solving any of your problems at all. And I dare say, if your attitude toward the word, what was it? Um, what was it? I've forgotten it already. It's so unimportant. Manipulative and manipulating. And if that's that connotation is so, if you're so strung in it, that's a negative thing, and you don't want that to be associated with you in any way, which is how it was coming across, then you'll probably do the same as Sue, and the same will be with problems. Um, yeah, and you won't be able to break out of your prison. You'll be caught in there forever, same as she is. Um, uh, that's a pity. But that's actually when I drilled down and look at it. Yeah, the things, what I'm talking about, that coffee machine's one of them. Yeah, it's well like I don't know, $300. As opposed to even 30. Shit. If $30 will get me a year out of it, I'll pay $30 a year. It's $1 a week. That doesn't bother me. It's $310 a week. No, it's not quite 10, so 8. It's like, it's yeah. I, that's what I'm looking at. Because that's what happened. You think, oh, fucking coffee machine's starting to splutter again. And that's what made me think, maybe just go on there. But it's solving the problem. And you wanted the pics of town, that sort of thing. So I had a problem to put the Bluetooth in. Do you notice how many times I've spoken about the Bluetooth? I couldn't give a shit about the town on the pics I took. Yeah, I talked about the problem. Yeah, and that was, and I was pleased. I thought, right, got the fucker in there. And I was like, often wondered about it. How do you do it? Yeah, so it's yeah, maybe that's, I was talking about manipulation this morning, but what I swum down to the bottom to try and find out this is what Elon Musk says you do. You find out what's driving things. And so I would say, yeah, I can tell that I discuss and make fun with it, have fun with it, the problems I'm trying to solve. Little ones along the way. There's heaps of them. And when I saw myself typing to you this morning, or talking to you, and I thought, yeah, it's like I really feel I need an opinion, and it seems wrong that I'm saying, no, don't give me your opinion. You're saying, okay, if you don't want my opinion, no. And by actually suggesting it and by going that way, I've realised, because, as I said, on the PC it looks good, on the phone it looks terrible, maybe your opinion isn't worth anything. Or my opinion, for that matter, it's just not worth anything. What's the point? If it looks like, you could look at me front on and say, oh, Bob's slim. You see me side on, you see fat. So, see, two different angles. Same as PC looks one way, phone looks another way. Yeah, so your opinion or any advice you can offer, maybe it's sounds good, sounds right, but maybe it's just useless. Possibly, and you can think about this if you like, and if you think, well, and you listen to what I say, and I'll be just talking about the problems I've got. A classic one is slow computer. How much have I gone on and on and on about this terribly slow computer, which seems to have been sped up a little bit? How much do we discuss that? Not at all, do we? You're not saying, oh, you have you said it? Your comp seems to be is going better, Bob? Haven't mentioned it at all. You're still talking about the need for a good, clean house, and if the man loves him, she'll put up. You're still stuck, I don't know, somewhere else, which has nothing to do with our relationship at all. If anything would have something to do with our relationship, it's the fucking speed of a computer. It's have a huge impact on it. You see, you're not even acknowledging, you're not even picking up on that. So all that's telling me is that you're just locked into a mindset, frozen in there. I think, but it's not free. It's not at all. Yeah, but that's. I mean, I've just talked and talked and talked and I could talk about this. How you and I could have a discussion about that. I even tried to have a discussion about the problems with your thing that you're having. The slowness of the rendering. You didn't seem to want to talk about that. So, but that's the difference. You don't seem to be wanting to. I don't know. Deal with or talk about. Like probably not a problem to you. I don't know. Yeah, maybe you're pretending about everything. This is not a problem. That's not a problem. Maybe that's what's happening. You've suppressed you. That's possibly what's happened. You've suppressed everything you've got. It's all in there, and you don't even want to question one thing about it because maybe you're worried that if you start, you'll never stop. And I couldn't blame you for that either. But maybe because it seems to be that, yes, you'll have problem, and I don't even get a sense of what's going on. A slow computer, there's a problem in many ways. It's buggers everything to work, to communicate, to do everything. And that's something that's real between us. See, not even discussed. So that's telling me that something else is going on. And it's not, do you know what I mean? It's like, that's what we have between us, a communication over a computer, internet. And, and all the other things that normally influence a normal, real relationship don't exist in here. But we're ignoring all of that and pretending like we're living in real. We're not. We're living in cyberspace. Yeah. Yeah, so that's what happens when you drill down. And I think he's right. I wanted to try it because it's something that I've just noticed he's mentioned it a few times. And I've been thinking about it. And, where he says, no, you have to go down and find what's drive? They're my words, not his. But that's what that's my spin I've put on it. What is driving why are people buying it, or what's, and there could be problems involved with this, or it could be, but you don't try to sweep it under the carpet because entrepreneurs don't do that. They solve problems, they find problems, and they fix them. That's what we do. And you don't you question what. I mean, what I'm suggesting might be really that might not be, but the reason that I send you certain vids and discuss certain things, but yeah, typically it's my problems. That's just what I observed when thinking about it. I thought, yeah, so the problems in Bob's life are what's driving Boomba's and Bob's relationship. That's what it is. Now, does that mean he wants advice? Well, I don't know. I don't think so. Am I doing the right? Am I growing potatoes the right way? You said I put the onions and potatoes together, I'll end up with small potatoes. Well, I don't know. I don't know. It's a person is sharing their problems with you. What do they need? I suppose that's. I hope that explains a bit better. But I'll keep going. It's one of those things. It's takes a while. Bye.